How you going there, guys? Been meaning to take a video like this for a while. A lot of customers ask us about the cheaper units you can buy, what they're like and how they work. Obviously, I'm going to be pro Vhedia, but we'll do an honest test here and we'll see how we go. And we'll hopefully be able to show you actually all the work we do put into our units and like why you can't just compare 8 gig and 128 gig with 8 gig and 128 gig. We like to explain to people it's a bit like a phone. You know, the iPhone's $2,000. You can buy another phone that's $300. They're almost at the same. Clearly something's different between the two. So there's actually a guy next door here at the warehouse who has just bought himself a Triton because he got it for a good deal at the auctions. He reckons he's going to do it up and sell it. And I said, well, that's a good chance for us to actually be able to use the head unit we're going to buy. So we'll see how that goes.
A few moments later.
Yeah, how you going there, guys? So we got our like unit in. Yeah, the shipping was like pretty good. Here it is here. It took about like 7 days, so that was pretty quick. Now I tried to choose the one that was seen, I guess, like was it from Australia, because trying to return something that isn't from Australia is very hard, and we have people who call us up and say they've been caught out, and then they just end up like writing it off, don't get the money back. And because the company is an Australian, so either they don't have a leg to stand on, they just start to ghost you. But like looking at like this, I can't actually see where it comes from. All the address here are just China addresses, an email, which is just some random email, and they obviously are in Spain and the UK as well. So I don't know if they're just a huge like shipping company who sends heaps of stuff out and they just are like an agent for these, but that is one of the things you're gonna come across. Now you can see they like send it in like 2 little things. Ours are a bit different, like we send ours all in like 1 box. And the Fascia and screen is in like 1. The reason for like this is like, I'm not the biggest fan of sending the Fascia like this, because you can see right here, this is just plastic. It's already like broken through. It can get like damaged. So I guess overall, so far, I'm happy with the shipping time. I'm not super happy with how it was packed, and not super happy that I don't have any return address and everything seems to be direct back to China. I know there was no GST on the order, so I'm assuming I'm dealing direct with a Chinese company, even though it came within like 7 days. So they could have a fast shipping line, or they could be holding stock here. So here's the other fascia. Here's the unit here. So what happens is this here slips into here, like so, and then we put the screws in the back, and now the unit's for a Triton. So that is that. So overall, yeah, pretty standard, sort of what I would expect. It is what it is. I'll show you one of our units. Here's one of our units here. So you can see one of our units here, slightly like different because we still use a single DIN on the back here, and everything like a little bit like different. We got a 4G plug, and we use the bigger plugs on the back because it is the actual like single DIN model. The reason for that is these little slim plugs are a pain in the butt. And on a single DIN you get more cooling space, which is quite important here in Australia. So what I'll do now is I'll put the screws in here, and then we'll go and actually try and put it in the car, and we'll test it out and we'll see how it runs. How you going, guys? So we're gonna go and put the unit in today, our cheaper unit we bought. Should be pretty straightforward. One thing we do notice is in their kits they don't include the install tools you need. So we assume most of our customers will have like a socket set and a screwdriver set, but we do include trim removal tools, a cable, a puller, and any like sort of specialist tools you need, which like some models do need, which could just be like a flexi like socket extension or small things like that. It's not the end of the world. You can always like pop down to the shops and like buy them, or you can like buy them online, but again we just try to keep our kits are pretty complete, so it's all a bit easier. Cool, guys, so I've just there are units in. I've worked out how to do the Bluetooth. So that's cool. We've got CarPlay. Might start the car up so it's flat. Let's just see if we can make the screen a bit brighter. All right, I think the screen might be quite a bit of like a lower quality screen, so it isn't quite HD like ours are always bright, but that's just a cheaper product. So I've just been using a bit more, trying to log into the Play Store and download some apps, and yeah, it's giving me a few issues, so I'll try this again. So it just crashed out again. It was 48, I'm pretty sure of that. So hopefully it's managed to log us in. It's taking us back to this. They've basically outsmarted me and my time here. I really wanted to put, there's like a fake device app, and there's also AIDI 64 and a CPU-Z app. These three apps are pretty handy. You can put into Google, just say, checking if my Android devices are fake. It'll show you if it's got true storage, true RAM, and the Android version. So checking if they are all telling you the truth. You can see, just even not doing much, the CPU gets pretty overloaded. Not that ideal. So you can see here, it's saying we're running Android 13 with a 2019 patch. However, they did say it had Android 14 on it. And I don't even know if that's true. Android 13, you can actually trick even these test apps. The fact that that security patch is quite old gives me a little bit of a worry. But there we go, because if I come into apps, into settings, and we go down to system info, you can see we've got Android version 8 core, which we had, 256 gigabyte we had, 8 gig RAM we had. So the only thing that wasn't quite truthful was the Android version's not 14. That's what you always have to watch out for. A lot of these people try and do this, so we've proved that is wrong. Here we go, we got fake device installed okay. Just some results from the tests we ran here. That's basically all the testing I'm doing it. That's basically done. We'll run through our units and just do some comparisons, but I guess overall, before you even look at the specs of the unit, you got to think, okay, like, how much of value do you put in having support and being able to contact people and having videos and correct documentation? Pretty important. I personally put a pretty high value on that. That's why we offer all that stuff like so well. That is pretty important. Again, being able to return it. We'll get a replacement, like etc. That's a pretty big thing. Then you go to the actual unit itself. The fascia was a little bit off. The packaging, I don't know about shipping the fascias actually separately. Could get damaged. Again, there was so no return address in Australia, all GST charged, so it'd be an overseas company. Actual updates on the unit, I've got no idea about that. So I don't know how they update them if an issue happens. I couldn't see any actual over-the-air updates or anything going on there. It didn't come with any actually tools to install it in the pack, and was missing a few little things that we include that are quite good, OBD2 things like USB retention cables, etc. The unit itself, if you're going to buy whatever you're going to buy here, make sure you get a high quality screen one, high resolution. It does make a huge difference. The specs, seemed that CarPlay worked okay, all good, but it was slow running like Android and like apps and stuff, and I have heard other units are quite actually laggy, even though the specs as they read sounded good. So it's kind of hard to test that before you actually get the unit. Yeah, that's probably about everything. I think if you are going to do it, I would actually just go and buy the cheapest one out there with wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto and see how you go, because I don't think we really got that much benefit out of this one. We paid about $500 for it. And if you're missing all the other stuff like that we offer here at Vhedia, you might as well go for the cheapest one and see how you go. And I think you'd probably get something that is about the same.